If you didn't know that Stanley Kubrick's filmic masterpiece, Eyes Wide Shut, was full of hidden symbolism, then you've come to the right place. Beyond the Christmas glint, past the sex lives and the money of the power elite that it portrays, here you'll find it all. Well, maybe not all, but enough to get you started on a journey that will have you questioning your own sanity as you look for some kind of testament to which these hidden symbols are alluding. So, join me now as we delve into the dark side of Eyes Wide Shut, past its looking glass veneer, and take off the mask to show the world that Stanley Kubrick really wanted you to see. Down the rabbit hole. When Eyes Wide Shut was first released in 1999, 4 months after the death of its director Stanley Kubrick, it was met by audiences with a degree of indifference. Too long, boring, and how is this sexy, with some of the comments being levelled at it, none of which came as any surprise to fans of Kubrick, a director who liked to make every frame of celluloid count, creating layers that have often taken viewers many years to dig through. Sexy as it wasn't, as the film came under greater scrutiny, however, people started to notice things, little things, strange little things, like the AllSeeing Eye projected onto Tom Cruise's back after he returns home from his night at the mansion. Why is it there? Surely Kubrick placed it there to tell us something. That's just the beginning of the rabbit hole that we head down, like Alice, who coincidentally is the name of Nicole Kidman's character in the film. And we'll just gloss over Bill, the name of Tom Cruise's character, as there are no hidden references there. Except, wait, the All-Seeing Eye is projected onto Bill. All-Seeing Eye? Bill? Don't you see it? I suppose in order to make that seem convincing, you'd need to see a pyramid. Sorry, I meant to say Christmas tree. They feature a lot in the film. Okay, the film is set just before Christmas, and everyone loves a Christmas tree. But seriously, there are more Christmas trees floating around in Eyes Wide Shut than in a decade's worth of Hallmark Channel seasonal slosh. In fact, they feature in every location except one. Guess which one that is? The scene of the masked party at Somerton Mansion. What's more, little things sneak into the trees, like the apple of temptation that is hanging from Domino's tree, she being the prostitute offering her services to Bill. And oh, if you didn't notice that apple, then there's another hanging as a sketch on her cupboard. Temptation leads us to our next element of the film, and that is mirrors. At the party held by the Zieglers, Alice dances with the suave Sandor Savost, the epitome of the devil of temptation. And yes, his name is a play on that of Anton Szandor LaVey, creator of the Church of Satan. At one point during his dance of seduction, he says to Alice,
"Don't you think one of the charms of marriage is that it makes deception a necessity for both parties?"
A double entendre if ever there was one, as he is talking both about people and locations. The present party, the one that the Zieglers are hosting in their home, and the other, the masked party, to be held at Somerton Mansion. Each party mirrors the other, and there's every possibility that the same guests are present at both. The mirroring continues when the first shot that we see after this party is of Alice, standing naked in front of a mirror, most likely reflecting on the evening. She is approached by an also naked Bill, whom she looks at in the mirror, and the scene ends with her looking at her reflection. Is Alice preferring to look at the image she creates in the mirror, the coveted wife of a wealthy doctor? And we are left asking, did she or didn't she give in to temptation? This is also a feature of the craziest costume shop to ever appear on film, the purposely titled Under the Rainbow, which is run by the wonderful Milich. We later discover that Milich has a side hustle of soliciting his daughter, and that he possibly may be the serpent of temptation, as suggested by his snakeskin tie. Under the Rainbow also has significance when we look at the sign outside. At one end it says tuxedo rental, and at the other, costume rental. And we are reminded of what one of the women at the party said to Bill.
"Don't you want to go where the rainbow ends?"
So here Bill stands, wanting to go to where the rainbow ends. And this is alluded to again when we go downstairs under the rainbow. As Bill walks along the corridor filled with masked mannequins, at one end we see the same lights that were present at the Ziegler party, the tuxedo party. and at the other end is a room in which two Japanese men are removing their costumes, or their masks. Give a man a mask and he will tell you the truth. Oscar Wilde. If you only had one word with which to describe Eyes Wide Shut, it would have to be masks. On one level, it's all about the mask that we wear, and such is the irony of Somerton Mansion, where in putting a mask on, you're removing the one that you wear every day. Has anyone ever looked more naked than the moment when Bill is forced to remove his at the party? Masks are also scattered elsewhere throughout the film. You'll see one on the wall of Bill and Alice's daughter Helena's bedroom, a mask that she made herself, and there are many on the walls of Domino's apartment, suggesting that she is able to wear different masks in performing her services. One also stands near Marion's dead father, a scene which is prefaced by one in which Bill says to Alice that he has to go over there and show his face. Now Bill is stoned while saying this, and showing his face actually means putting on his doctor's face. This is one of the many masks that Bill is wearing, while everyone else around him is removing theirs and revealing their true nature. Alice tells Bill of her desires for other men. Marion tells Bill of her desire for him, and this is most apparent when Bill asks Domino.
Talk about money?
Domino replies,
Yeah, I guess so. But it depends on what you want to do.
and he deflects answering the question with his response,
What do you want to do?
Well, what do you recommend?
So we see Bill masking his desire. Then we move to the bedroom. Domino and Bill begin kissing, but Bill's phone rings. It's Alice. Bill gets up and walks to the stereo to turn the music down. Next to the stereo we see books, introducing sociology, which is perhaps a hint at how the film should be interpreted, and Shadows of the Mirror, a tale of a woman who wears the mask of being a lawyer during the day and a prostitute at night. The books are positioned below a mirror that has a candle in front of it, the candle being a black magic tool for seeing through the looking glass. Bill speaks to Alice, and we cut to their apartment. A TV next to her is playing a film. It's the 1973 George Segal classic, Bloom in Love, the poster for which says, is a love story for guys who cheat on their wives. Coincidentally, much of Bloom in Love is set in Venice, and Venice also appears in a painting by Canaletto that is in the bedroom of Marion's dead father. Venice being known for Carnival, an event to which attendees wear masks, and the masks used in the Somerton scenes were made in Venice. And so this brings us on to locations. Stanley Kubrick had a dislike of flying, and since adopting the UK as his home in the late 70s, did everything possible to shoot his locations there. Famously, London's Docklands stood in for Vietnam in Full Metal Jacket, and a New York street scene was meticulously recreated for Eyes Wide Shut at Pinewood Studios. Bringing the Somerton mansion of Eyes Wide Shut to life was relatively easy, however, and he chose Eldon Hall for the interiors. But oddly for the exterior, he didn't. Why was that? Eldon is not an unfortunate-looking mansion, and you're there outside shooting the main gate anyway, so why not the exterior, which only appears in one fully encompassing shot? Keep in mind, though, Kubrick was meticulous about making each shot count, so perhaps he was telling us something. The exterior of the mansion that we see is that of Mentmore Towers in Buckinghamshire. Mentmore was built for Baron Mayer de Rothschild as a country home, and its architect was Sir Joseph Paxton, who designed another mansion for the Rothschild family that was based on what he fashioned with Mentmore. This one was built in France and is called the Château de Ferrières. This chateau is noteworthy for two things. The first is that Roman Polanski used it for his film The Ninth Gate, which was released mere months after Eyes Wide Shut, and in his film, the chateau was the scene of a satanic ritual. Château de Ferrières is also known for being the location of a 1972 party organised by Marie-Helene de Rothschild on the theme of a surrealist ball, to which many attendees wore masks and costumes. The wealthy wearing masks to party is a common affair, but why did two directors choose intrinsically the same location in order to illustrate occult, ritualistic practices involving the power elite? Your guess is as good as mine. Just don't suggest that it's all a conspiracy. Eyes Wide Shut was in the planning for 30 years, and the filming of it continued unrelentingly for 400 days, a longer shoot schedule than any other film in history. Arguably, Kubrick therefore had every opportunity to fill it with symbolism. That left a lot of room for conspiracy theorists, and as you can imagine, they've gone to town on it. Like the alleged reference to Skull and Bones, suggested by the altercation that Bill has with the boys from Yale, or those referencing the Freemasons, Illuminati, secret CIA projects, the Church of Satan, and the list goes on. It's even been suggested that Kubrick was killed because of what he showed in the film, which has to be the most ridiculous theory out there. The point is, there's so much in the film that it's impossible not to notice what I've only scratched the surface of here. The aim of which has been to open your eyes to the fact that it's there. What it all means, however, is for you to decide. And perhaps, my friends, a topic for another day. Enjoy rewatching it. I know you will.